So it looks like they're now adding super crappy AI companies to the S&P 500. What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with Technical Solutions. All jokes aside, wanted to break down SMCI. For those that didn't hear the news, this was after market hours. It gapped up 12.43%. And it's going to be really interesting how this continues to trade into market open on Monday. So again, I hope to see you there for that live session. We previously hit highs of 1,080. We previously almost hit highs of 1,000. And then those were before really solid rejections. The first rejection was around 30%. I want to show you this firsthand. From highs of 1,080, it sold off to lows of 692. That was about a 36% drop. Pretty significant if you ask me. You let me know down in the comment section. And then this one from highs about, I think it hit 995 and then it pulled on back. That was about a 20.7% drop. But now we've obviously gapped back up. This thing hasn't broken its pattern on the 1 hour time frame. It's been making progressive higher highs and higher lows. Now, when it becomes overbought, it does not shy away from pulling on back. And that's one thing that I want to make you aware of. This is why I really enjoyed shorting SMCI. But if you watch from every video I've talked about, when I short SMCI, I always talk about its true direction and that it's extremely bullish. It'd be naive for us to not talk about that. Okay, it is a very relevant stock right now, and it's more relevant now, and it's probably going to be more relevant on Monday because of what the news was, and that's that it's possibly getting added to the S&P 500. Actually, I don't think it's possibly. I think it is getting added. So check this out. It says Supermicro and Decker jumps onto the S&P 500. For those that don't understand what that is, there's three major indexes in the stock market. I just wanted to explain this for our beginners, and I hope that you guys appreciate that. S&P 500 is probably the most focused one. Then there's a NASDAQ 100 that's really tech focused. And then there's what's it called? Dow Jones, which is more like Dow Jones Industrial, right? S&P 500, in my opinion, is a basket of 500 of the most valuable companies that are publicly traded in the market, and they get rebalanced every year. Some get removed, some get added. These are the criterias, and I wanted to provide it for you so you understand of what the criterias are for them to even be considered to be added to the S&P 500. Now, due to this rebalance, SMCI and DEC got added. I'm going to check out DEC in just a little bit, but as well as Whirlpool and Zion got removed. So just while SMCI and DEC are, experiencing their highs, two companies were just removed. So you guys let me know down in the comment section if you want me to make a video on that. But it doesn't necessarily surprise me that, obviously, if anything, I'm surprised because of how hyped up SMCI is with AI and what it's experienced in the past before. So if we look at this 4 hour time frame, you might be like, man, Ricky, why do you call it an overhyped up company? This is just my opinion, but I think that any company that in just a few weeks of trading, that it nearly 3x's itself, right? So a 300% return nearly in just a few weeks. I think that the idea of, hey, maybe it is very hyped up. Maybe there is potential manipulation, and maybe it's an overreaction, should be brought up, right? That question should always be there. Now, do you need to short the stock? Definitely not, right? Shorting comes at a greater form of risk, and especially when direction is still extremely bullish, you want to make sure that you respect that. But I'm surprised with all of the hype that it's experienced recently that it only moved 12.4%. The reason I say that is, well, it moved nearly 300% in just about 3 to 4 weeks. I'm surprised at the reaction of it getting added to the S&P 500, which is such a milestone. Like, that is not something that should be taken lightly. That is a huge milestone. And if it actually gets added, as it looks like it's going to, that's a huge accomplishment. I remember the news when Tesla got added to the S&P 500. It was absolutely insane. Now there's conversation of, hey, maybe should Tesla be removed? But obviously those are just the haters. But overall, I wanted to talk about the good news, right? Obviously, this is causing more of a positive catalyst for SMCI, and I wanted to explain the why. It's because it's getting added to the S&P 500 with also ticker symbol DEC. I wanted to check this out very quickly. Yep, so DEC moved 5%, and it looks like it's been pretty bullish, right? Meets all that market cap, criteria as well. But the thing that I wanted to bring up is that with SMCI, I want to make sure that you are aware. I don't care that it got added to the S&P 500 so much. My job is to look out for beginners, right? And my job is to make you aware of, hey, when this thing does rally very strong and it tends to overreact, it corrects itself pretty hard. Like, this is not a small pullback that it experienced. That was a 36% drop. That is over 1/3 of the valuation wiped out in just 2 days. Think about that, right? And this is why I talk about the risk and not just the potential reward. That's great. When news is relevant and momentum is bullish, don't be afraid to ride the wave, but never be afraid to lock in profits, and that when we are reaching very overbought levels and you begin to see lack of progress, or hey, maybe this looks too good to be true, that you look out for yourself. You should never be afraid to be selfish in this market. We're all here for the same reason, and that's to make money, right? So I'm really excited to follow up to see if this thing continues to rally. And if we begin to see signs of a potential pullback, I also wouldn't mind potentially shorting it. Just so you can see, I have no open position right now. I always close out my shorts as day trades. I don't like to carry over the position overnight. I short with shares, meaning that I would therefore borrow. There'd be like a borrow rate interest that incurs, daily and stuff like that. But that's getting a little bit more into it. I explained that in a little bit more detail in the LPP lesson library. But other than that, I wanted to talk about the good news. I wouldn't be surprised if the momentum and the hype continues up until Monday, and I wouldn't want to trade against that. But once it does become overbought enough, and once it does begin to show signs of resistance, I also wouldn't be against the idea of potentially opening a small short position if direction ends up being favorable. So congratulations to everyone that absolutely killed it. It's well learned. News is extremely positive. I'm really excited to follow up on Monday and to see if this rally continues. But my encouragement also always is never be afraid to lock in profits when it makes sense to you. It doesn't have to make sense to me. It doesn't have to make sense to other people, but never be afraid to be selfish in this market. And I hope that you take that in a positive way, and let me know down in the comment section what you think. But if you have any questions about SMCI, you can either feel free to comment down below or shoot me a DM via Discord. And that's the first link in the description down below. You guys might be wondering, Ricky, what the heck are you wearing on your head? I am wearing the Apple Vision Pros that we're giving away this weekend. So if you guys haven't checked it out, we're giving away these Apple Vision Pros, which cost over $3,500. It's absolutely crazy. I actually tested them out. They're pretty cool. But it's a 3-day giveaway. It started yesterday on Friday and ends tomorrow on Sunday. But it's any order that you place on shoptechbutts.com. You can pick up, a mystery box. You can pick up t-shirts, trading mouse pads, trading apparel, trading wall art. Every order you place gets you automatically entered for a chance to win these these Apple Vision Pros, and it also gets you entered for our Corvette giveaway. So it's a double whammy. So every order gets you entered for both giveaways, but on Monday, one of you is going to be announced the winner for the Apple Vision Pro, and the only way to enter this giveaway is if you buy something from Friday to Sunday. And then on Monday, I'll be announcing reading out one of your guys' names as the winner, and then we'll ship it out with your order. So again, shoptechbutts.com or the fourth link in the description down below. And again, don't forget, I hope to see you for our live trading session on Monday. And if you want to tune on in, that's that second link in the description down below. I appreciate your time. Hope that earned your thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.